Hello everybody and welcome to my living room. This is a place we've never been before, but I didn't have room to do this video in my room right now because I'm just very limited on space because I'm packing to go on vacation. I'm already dressed for work because I have to leave in about a half an hour, but I could not wait to do this video any longer. I'm so excited. Bean will be assisting me today, I guess. Yeah, so I have here, I assume you saw the title, I have the brand new 2021, oh god, it's heavy. I have an iMac. I have been doing all my editing and everything on a 2019 MacBook Air, and it's served its purpose, and it served it well, but I was about ready for an upgrade. I wanted to come back and get back into doing videos, and I just wanted something a little bit nicer for myself, something that is going to be a little bit more functional, and I decided this was the way to go. I looked at MacBook Pro, just something a little bit beefier, and I've been really impressed with the overall design and efficiency of the new Apple M1 chip. And so I looked at the MacBooks with the M1 chip, and then I decided I don't really need a laptop because I'll probably take the Air with me when we go on vacation, but I really don't use it as a laptop much, right? It stays stationary at my desk. I have it on a riser, I have a Bluetooth keyboard, and it just kind of sits there, you know? And in the event that I do want to take it, I do still have the MacBook Air, but I also have an iPad, and I have a tendency to use the iPad way more. So we decided Mac. So this thing has had really great reviews as far as performance. I did just go with the base model, which retails for about $1,300, so that was something that was a lot more reasonable with my budget. So this isn't really going to be an in-depth review. I can go over the specs a little bit just because it's what I do every day, that's my job, but the gist is, I guess Apple was feeling a little bit limited with Intel's technology, and they were just kind of ready to do their own thing. So the M1 chip is going to be not just the processor, it's also going to be the GPU, so it's going to handle the graphics, it's the RAM, it's the neural engine, it's everything integrated into one teeny tiny little chip. And what's so cool about that is we're seeing a lot thinner and lighter designs with that chip. Takes a lot less space. It's also a lot more efficient when it comes to power, so in the laptops you're going to see a lot longer battery life, simply because you don't have all these separate components competing for power, if that makes sense. So everything's condensed into this one area, and so you just have the chip, you know, taking the power versus all these separate components. So that's the gist of it. I know there's going to be a lot of people that are like, oh, Apple, you should have done this and that, and like I have a friend that's like, what are you doing? Because I've been talking about building a new PC, because right now my streaming, all I play is Minecraft, so I don't really need like an intense gaming computer. But my PC, it's like a 2015 MSI. The specs on it are decent. The graphics aren't much, but again, all I play is Minecraft, so that's not really necessary. Most of the work that I do day to day, besides just general internet browsing and playing Minecraft, everything else, all my video editing and things like that, are done on my MacBook. So for me, it's worth it to stick with Apple because I do like iMovie. When I look into a better editing software, I'm probably going to do Final Cut Pro because it's I know how to work Apple's applications. I'm also looking into getting used to using GarageBand and things like that. So with using Apple's softwares, it makes more sense to use this, you know, because that's all I'm going to use it for anyways. And with these guys, another thing that makes the M1 chip so fantastic is now you have Apple. This is all Apple software, right? But it's also going to be entirely Apple hardware. So you're going to see a lot more fluidity with that. So that's part of what makes this guy so fast, because it all clicks together really, really well. With that being said, because of that, this guy only has 8 gigs of RAM, right? And usually if you're doing any type of photo or video editing, you generally want to shoot for at least 16. That's just going to be a lot smoother in your multitasking. You're going to see a lot faster speeds when you're exporting or uploading a video. But with this guy, I don't want to say that the chip makes it seem like it has twice as much RAM, because it doesn't exactly. It does, but it doesn't. It's very confusing. It doesn't really need as much RAM because, again, all these components are condensed into one chip, and it's also Apple's software with their hardware. So just all those factors makes the computer itself a lot faster. So that's enough of that. Other than that, it's got of course, a solid state drive. This one's 256 gigabytes, which is on the lower end, but again, this is the base model, and I also work a lot with external hard drives, so I already have an external hard drive, and my MacBook only has 128 gigabytes, so this is still a hell of an upgrade for me. It's twice the amount of storage. All I've ever needed on that is the 128, because I don't keep anything on my MacBook, right? I strictly use it to do the work, and then once the video is done, I move it to the external hard drive, and then from there I upload it and just save it on the external hard drive. So they do say, general rule of thumb, when you're purchasing a computer, get more than what you think you need. So always do double of what you think you'll actually use or what you're currently using, and that's what I did with this model. So one downside, I'll mention this while I'm opening this up. One downside about the RAM, since it's integrated into that M1 chip, it's not expandable. I never really gave much thought into Apple's RAM being expandable before. I know that some laptops you can definitely do that in some all-in-ones, of course. I don't know, I always just use Apple products as is because they've always worked great, and I never felt the need to upgrade. But with it being in that M1 chip now, you're totally losing any ability to upgrade. You're gonna have to, if you want more RAM, you're gonna have to just buy that off the bat, and of course that can be quite a bit more expensive because you're automatically adding $200 to double your RAM, but most Apple users are used to spending money anyways, so not a huge deal, I guess. I mean, it's a huge deal, it's still a lot of money, but I feel like if you are a content creator, if you're doing what I do, yeah, you can go with a beefier model. It's better to be safe than sorry. But for most general use, 8 gigs of RAM is all the average person needs anyways. Content creators, step it up if you can, but 9 times out of 10, there's no point in paying extra for something you're really not going to utilize, you know? This is a struggle. I'm just trying to tear open the bottom. I have a little tiny pocket knife here to try to loosen the glue. Yeah, this is a struggle. Oh god. This is the worst unboxing video of all time. Alright, I was originally gonna set it on this table in front of the camera. There she is. The box is as big as I am. I could crawl right inside of it and go to sleep. I like the packaging. That's very nice. Apple always has very simple yet effective packaging. It's just always so satisfying when you open an Apple product, just the way everything's laid out. The computer itself is upside down in the box, so when your instinct is to open it this way, it's laying with the bottom upwards. So, of course, that's how they have to fit it into the box to get that design. Pull this guy out of here. So the base model, it does, of course, come with all of your accessories, so it's not like you're going to have to buy the computer plus buy your Magic Mouse and your Magic Keyboard. All that does come with the computer. So of course that is likely to be a factor in the price. Magic Keyboards tend to retail between $80 and $100 something. The Magic Mouse itself retails for about $60 to $80. So with all that coming with the computer or being a factor in the price, I think that makes a $1,300 price tag on this entire set a lot more reasonable and actually a pretty decent deal. considering what you're getting. So, where this is the base model, it does come with the Magic Keyboard. The keyboards this year, they did release some with the Touch ID on here on this button right here. I don't have that because the base model does not come with that feature. I'll still have to sign in with my regular password, but to me that's not a big deal. However, the Touch ID would make a lot of things a lot quicker and easier. Same with the phones. You can use it to make purchases, to sign in. My MacBook Air has Touch ID, so I am pretty used to using it. So that's going to be a change for me. But I don't think it's an overall deal breaker, so I still don't regret buying the base model or that $1,300 price tag. So, the computer I got is the silver model, so all the accessories come to match the computer. They released a lot of bright, fun colors this year with the new iMac, which a lot of people didn't like. I'm actually a pretty good fan of it because it really is a throwback to the original iMac. Of course, I was far too young at that time, but they used to come in like bright, fun colors, or you've seen pictures circulated on the internet of the old clamshell style laptops that were different colors and kind of had that transparent, like Game Boy type feel to it. Of course, it was my dream to have the pink one, but when I went to order this, the pink one was on back order, so it could be several months before I see that. I wanted to get it from my store and not just order it from Apple because I want to get it where I work for obvious reasons, and then I didn't want to wait. I wanted it now, and I figured if I can't have the pink one that I really want, I'm not going to get a different color because I don't want it to be the color I didn't want, so I just went with silver. Silver is classic Apple. The MacBook I have right now is silver, and I like it. It's a very classic Apple design. So the Magic Keyboard, if you've never seen one, it's very light, it's very thin, the buttons are decent, you know, it's got a fairly satisfying click to it without it being any type of fancy clicky. It's just a regular keyboard, you know. This is not the extended Magic Keyboard, so you don't have a number pad right there. It's just regular, but it's similar to the Bluetooth keyboard I use anyways. I have a Logitech K380, I think, but it's the Mac version of the Logitech Bluetooth keyboard. So of course it has the command keys and delete right here and the return instead of enter, so it's formatted the same way. I might still use the Logitech keyboard over this, I'm not quite sure yet, but my Logitech keyboard is pretty in pink, so let's set that aside for now. Of course, I said with the different colors of the Mac, all your accessories will correspond to the color. So the Magic Mouses, I think they did do like a colored bottom here. The keyboard matches, your power cords will match. All of my stuff is going to be basic white and silver since I got the silver Mac. So mine's not super exciting. Mine's all pretty standard, all the Apple we know and love. So there's a Magic Mouse, which I will 100% not be using. I hate the Magic Mouse. Not the technology of the mouse itself. I think it's simple. It's efficient. It's a really nice, impressive mouse, but that shape just does not fit into my hand very well. I mean, it does. It fits my hand perfect, but for my comfort level, when I'm editing videos for an extended period of time, I prefer a lot more of a claw grip to the mouse I use. So I need something with a lot bigger arch there for me to personally be comfortable. So I might play with it a little bit just at first to get the overall experience, even though I play with this at work all the time. I'm not going to be using it all the time. You do have your Lightning to USB Type-C cord, the same cord we've been seeing with the new phones, with the iPads, things like that. So that is to charge your Lightning capable accessories here. So the mouse for sure, and then the keyboard, I believe. Then you have your power cords here. So here is the cord that goes into your power brick. I guess I could open this up. I feel like it's not entirely necessary, but this is an unboxing video, right? So there's that guy, standard 3-prong plug, and then this end that goes into your power brick. Now I believe this power brick is a 143 watt, so this a big bitch. And of course it's just standard Apple power brick with the Apple logo on it. Nothing special or different. I do, however, like the magnetic cable. I thought that was pretty cool. So it'll just, you ever go to plug in a computer or like something into a monitor and you're like scouring, your hand is there and the computer's in front of you and you're like scouring to try to find the plug-in because you're too lazy to get up and turn the computer around? We don't have to do that because the magnet's gonna find it for you. Awesome, we love to see it. And then, of course, you do have your little documentation here for, you know, general use, your warranty, all that good shit, your accessories you should have. And then it comes with stickers down in here as well. Mine just comes with the one sticker. I got a silver one there. Figured it would be a silver one and a white one. The colored ones come with 2 stickers, I believe, one to correspond with each color of your device. So had I gotten a pink one, would have got a pink sticker and a red sticker because those are the colors of the device. And now, the moment we've all been waiting for. This beautiful bitch right here. Got the dust cover here. Can I help you? Aha. There's this, we got protective like tape all over it. I'm just gonna peel that right off. Very satisfying there. There's some good peel porn for you guys. And then it does have plastic on the back as well. Great packaging so that the computer doesn't get scratched up or damaged at all in shipping. You also have the plastic around the edges, like a Samsung phone, except this is way easier to get off. Damn, me when I become a tech channel. I've thought about it, but the thing is, I do this for my job all day. I give demonstrations, I read specs, I tell people what they should buy. So when it comes time to do YouTube, I don't want to do that because it's not fun. It's what I do constantly. Except when it's for me. Then it's fun. So beautiful. So this is the 24-inch model or 23.8, whatever it is. Which was great. Another factor in why I chose to go with an all-in-one desktop versus a laptop. I do like the convenience of just one device rather than having a brick of a computer plus an extra monitor. So all-in-ones, if you get the right technology, are not as bad as people think they are. It's a great space saver. I did want a bigger screen. If I went with another laptop, it would likely be another 13-inch. I wanted something a little bit easier for my eyes to focus on when I'm creating content, as well as just general use. You know, it's nice to have a bigger screen. People love bigger screens. Look how big phones are getting. And if I went with a 16-inch MacBook, which would have been better, I'm still getting the Intel processor and the dedicated graphics card, which is going to be a lot better for the photo, video, music aspect. But I wanted the M1 chip. I've been really, really impressed with the technology, and I'm fucking here for it, dude. I'm a slut for Apple. What can I say? So, this new design, let's talk about it, because people fucking hate it, right? And I'm like, why? This is iconic. You have all the, mine aside with the standard silver, but you have all these iconic classic Apple colors that nobody even really got a chance to experience within my age range. Like, this is, it's like Apple being brand new all over again, and it's awesome. You do have the logo on the back, and then the back will be a darker shade than the front here with the colored versions of this computer. They did take away the logo on the chin. So a lot of the problems people had with this design, it wasn't overall the computer itself, right? It just lied with the face of the computer. So first of all, this bitch is fucking thin. It is thinner than my Apple Watch. It is so thin that they couldn't... It's thinner than a 3.5 millimeter audio jack, so your headphone jack won't fit in the back of the computer. So they had to stick that bitch in the side right here because that's how thin it is. So that is really impressive for it to be this thin and this powerful. Now, our boy Marcus Brownlee pointed out that, yeah, the thin and light design is very impressive. I mean, this thing probably weighs less than Bean does. Sorry, Bean, no offense. You have a medical condition, I know. But he mentioned once you pick it up and you move it where it's supposed to go, you don't really give a shit about how thin and light it is. And I get what he's saying, but I disagree, because at my desk, I already have several computers there. I have a lot of screens at my desk, you know. I have my gaming laptop, I have my main/second monitor, I have my work computer there when I need it, I have my MacBook sitting there right now, which will be replaced by this. I have my iPad, I have my Amazon Alexa Show, I have a lot of screens. So anything, the thinner, the smaller, the lighter, the better, because there's a lot going on at my desk. And so just the fact that it is thin, it doesn't have as much of a hatch to the back here as the previous design. Every little bit of room counts. So it's still a space saver, which I really enjoy. Next beef with the design, we had the chin. Everybody hates the chin, and I don't know why, because they've always had it. You know, the last model, it had a logo here, but it still had the chin, and I get it because people don't like it. They've never liked it, they want rid of it. And of course, I feel like before, I don't know, because now with the M1 chip, all the guts of the computer are down here, right? So that's what allowed them to make this computer so thin, because you don't have everything going on in the back. The back is mainly just cooling, that's all it is. So all the components of the computer are down here in this chin, which is cool because it made it thinner. So a lot of people said, I'd rather it be a little bit thicker and just all screen. Sure, in a perfect world, we'd love that, but for whatever reason, this is what it is, and it doesn't bother me any because I feel like it still does look really nice, and especially now that they did all the fun colors, I feel like that gave them an excuse to leave the design like this, because if you got one of those fun colors, you get to see the fun color down here. It doesn't show you around the sides. The bezel's still white. So I feel like that had a good bit to do with it. They wanted to give you a reason to buy the fun color, because nobody's really seeing the back of the computer, realistically. They made it fun just in case, or, you know, if you use this as a register somewhere, someone's going to see the back of it. Depending on your setup, some people might see the back of it, but most people aren't. So, at least you get to see the color in the front. Now, the biggest controversy were the white bezels. Now, I am probably the only person that prefers the white bezels to the black bezels. So, I get it, black bezels make sense because they have a tendency to blend into the screen more, I guess. But Apple's vision for this is they want this to be not just a computer in your office. They want this to be the family dog of technology in your house. They want you to be able to put this anywhere, kind of like an Amazon Alexa Show, just something you have sitting on a shelf. They want this to be just out and about. That's why part of why they did the fun colors. It can match your living space or your preference with color. They just want it to be a very aesthetically pleasing and friendly design. And so with the white bezels, that allows for the computer to kind of melt into the background. Like, for example, well, you can't see the walls, you can just see my big ass window, but my living room walls are white. So if I, for instance, wanted to put this on this table over here where my router is, you know, if I have something up, something playing, it is going to kind of just fade into the white of the wall. And that may be an illusion you don't really notice right away, but as I was watching more reviews for this before we got the display at work, when I was trying to learn more about the product itself and other people's opinions, watching videos where they had the screen on and they had stuff up on the screen, I could see it. I could see the illusion. They have white walls. They have a white background. all I could see was the screen itself. And I'm like, you know what, Apple, you made a statement and you delivered, and that's what I really like about Apple products. They fucking say they're gonna do some shit and they fucking do it. So we stand. Wow, amazing. Plus I have a white iPad. I remember the days where everybody wanted the white iPhone. Like, all of a sudden you guys are hating it. I'm so confused here, right? So the next problem that you might find with this base model of the computer is the fact that there are just two Thunderbolt Type-C ports here. So if you need more space to plug in your things, you are going to have to look into at least $200 for an upgrade. Me personally, I'm working on a MacBook Air that already only has two USB-C ports, and one of them I need for it to charge. So off the bat, I kind of already have an extra port with these two, because the other one my charger is always plugged into, where it just kind of stays at my desk. I mean, I do unplug it when it doesn't need it, because I don't need to keep it plugged in if the battery doesn't need it. But you get what I'm saying. When I do go to plug it in, that port's already taken. This has its own separate power adapter in the back here. It goes through this little hole. So that always leaves that port free for me. So off the bat, that's more than I had before. Before it was like I had a port and a half, you know, because I may need to charge this at some point. But right now, I already have my little USB-C dongle to take you from standard USB Type A to Type C, and I use that with a USB hub because a lot of my devices are still USB. My external hard drive, the dongle for my Bluetooth mouse, things like that, it's all USB. So I just use a regular USB hub, I plug that into my dongle, which I'll plug into here. So I already have all the ports I need, so to me that wasn't exactly a controversy. I'm used to that. That's how it's always been. That's how it'll always be. If you're coming from a MacBook Air or just a smaller laptop with not a lot of ports, that's not going to be any different for you. The only thing that might be different is if you're not normally an Apple user, you might not be used to the Type USB-C ports, but most new laptops and computers do accept mainly Type-C over regular USB now, so, or at least have Type-C as an option. So you should by now be pretty well used to it, but I don't know where you've been for like the past few years. So another very exciting improvement that I'm just going to throw in there is the fact that we no longer have a potato cam on this computer, which I will probably never use this camera. I don't FaceTime or anything like that with my MacBook, but it's cool because if I'm editing a video and I forgot to say something, normally I would just pull out my phone. I film with my phone anyways. I just pull out my phone, film the clip, blah blah, airdrop it to myself or whatever, and like we're good to go. Or pull it up from my, if it automatically syncs to my cloud, and then it'll automatically be on my MacBook. Sometimes it doesn't happen that quick though, so sometimes I have to airdrop it. But this is a 1080p webcam. I don't know about the frame rate. I imagine it's probably going to be like a 30 frame. I don't see it being like 1080 60 FPS on this when it took us this long to actually get a true HD webcam. But that's cool because I can just use my computer real quick to like film a final thought, or if I need to redo my intro or something wasn't quite right during the video. So that's cool. I won't have to reach for my phone every single time. I can kind of get more use out of that versus my my MacBook Air that's like 420p. It's 720, but still, it looks like shit. It's about time for me to leave for work, so I'm gonna set this guy down, and then when I get back today, we'll go in there and set it up, and I'll give you some first impressions. Well, second impressions, because I've already played with the display model. You get what I'm saying. Hello friends, so I just wanted to pop in here and give you my thoughts since I've set this up and did everything. It's me from the future. This is really far in the future, that's why I look like an entirely different person. But that's not important, and I'm back and I'm better, whatever. So, this guy, wow, we love it, love to see it. So, the first thing I wanted to note is that, you know, I went on a rant in this video about how, like, I hated the Magic Mouse, I will not be using it. I changed my mind. I've been using this the entire time. I still stand by what I said about like the claw grip type thing. So here is my regular editing mouse that I used with my MacBook Air. It's an Alienware. I know, Alienware, whatever. I like the shape of the mouse. This is actually, for me personally, one of the most comfortable pieces I've ever found. I do like this base. A lot of people don't like that, but it fits my hand really well. So for long periods of time, I'm sitting here like this, and it's great, right? What I was not expecting with the Magic Mouse is when using it with like iMovie and things like that, 90% of the time with the controls of this mouse, because it's not like a regular mouse, it's more along the lines of like a touchpad. So I'm often sitting like this, going back and forth through my timeline on iMovie, and then, you know, so I'm kind of pursed like this, which is that kind of shape I look for with my hand. So I've enjoyed that a lot. So this has actually been really nice. The controls are so fluid in combination with the keyboard that just videos that would normally take me a lot longer to work on and edit take like half the time now, just because there's so many shortcuts and little things you can do. It's very responsive. So yes, actually great. 10 out of 10. I never thought I would be a Magic Mouse person, but I'm sold. The keyboard is nice. It's a lot lighter and everything than my Logitech one, and it matches everything, so I decided to just ditch the Logitech. I'm just gonna stick with the regular Apple Magic keyboard. I'll be probably just gonna take the other keyboard back and get something else with it that'll be useful for my setup. So I just wanted to give those notes really quick. When using it with this computer, it all makes sense. There's a reason they come together, right? So yeah, take everything I said back. But overall, after using this, it's been about a month since I filmed the rest of the video because I'm a piece of shit. Yeah, it's been fantastic. You know, it's nice to actually see my videos, first of all, on a bigger screen. I can really see a lot more detail than I was able to see before. Which is terrifying because Lord knows what you've seen in my videos that I didn't notice. The resolution is a lot higher than my MacBook, so I'm seeing my videos closer to how I'm filming them. The M1 has been really great with the rendering of my videos, so that big hour-and-a-half long video that I did, Lord knows it would have taken fucking days to export on my MacBook, but on here it took about 30-ish minutes. It definitely took less than 45 minutes to export that entire video, and then it was even quicker than I expected uploading it onto YouTube. It did take a long time for YouTube to process the video, so that was a problem. So I know a lot of you guys, when you watch that, you were stuck watching it at like 420p. It took a long time for it to actually process the 1080p. It was well into the next day, probably the day after I uploaded. Yeah, I know a lot of people have had complaints about the M1. A lot of people weren't impressed with it, but for my needs personally, it's been more than what I could expect. Again, I think when it comes to choosing your technology, you really need to consider, one, your personal ecosystem. So I'm well in the Apple ecosystem. I know people hate that word. It's a big buzzword. I am well aware, as someone that works with and uses technology and teaches other people how to use technology every day, I'm well aware that Apple, when it comes to pricing and things like that, you are paying a lot for the brand and the overall ecosystem itself versus the actual specs of the technology that you're purchasing, and I'm fine with that. I feel like a lot of Apple users are fine with that. That's what we know, that's what we expect. So again, consider your ecosystem, consider your daily tasks and what you are looking for in a computer before you make any decisions, okay? Because something expensive, like buying a new PC, you're investing a lot of money, so you want to make sure it's something you're going to be able to stick with and you're going to be happy with and is going to meet all of your personal needs. So yeah, it's been great. 10 out of 10 for me here. There's a lot of stuff that I've been able to do a lot quicker than what I would on my MacBook. The ease of filming my videos, airdropping them, and then now it's a lot quicker to get the videos off of my phone and onto the computer or into my external hard drive, because, you know, just drag and drop. Before, my MacBook, it could really only handle like 1 or 2 videos at a time. This one I loaded up with 3 or 4, sent them all over to my external hard drive. That way everything is off my phone and waiting for me somewhere within my setup. So I'm like good to go, I can bust them out. So it's been great. Again, very responsive, very fast. It's nice, it's nice, it's nice. So thank you guys for watching. Shout out if you made it through the whole video. I have a lot more fun videos coming, I promise. Well, maybe not fun. Maybe more entertaining? Probably not. I think I'm entertaining, but I spend a lot of time with myself. I feel like I've, pretty good friends with me. We've gotten to know each other pretty well over the years. Alright. Subscribe if you want. I'm not gonna tell you what to do, because that's rude. And I love you. Have fun. Be safe. Look both ways before you cross the street. And I will see you when I see you. Bye!